Weathering out the storm. So collective, as I felt the energy behind your cards for the week, I heard the word abrigo, which means refuge in Portuguese. And what that is telling me, especially with the Eight of Wands reversed here, is Eight of Wands reversed can be bad weather. Or like a storm, or like a situation that's like a storm in that it interrupts. It's like it's very interrupting to your life basically. But it kind of goes by quick. And then with the Magician here, I'm kind of getting Doomsdayer vibes, like getting ready for the storm, getting ready to weather a storm. This could be collective energy where a lot of people are sensing that, you know, maybe there's going to be a food shortage. Maybe there's going to be an economic meltdown, right? And people are getting ready to weather the storm. That's the vibe from the Magician and the Eight of Wands reversed. And then looking down here, Page of Cups with the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is the ability to handle a situation where there's instability with regards to resources. When, you know, the shit hits the fan and let's say the dollar, you know, if you live in the USA and the dollar plummets, then when that happens, Two of Pentacles, you're going to be okay because the Emperor, you will have prepared ahead of time as the Magician, and you're in an okay position as the Emperor. You're so okay that maybe you can even help other people out with the Page of Cups. So you're not just necessarily doing this for yourself, and by yourself, since this is a collective reading, you know, a lot of people are probably doing this, and maybe on some level, you know, you guys should either are doing this or maybe should consider doing this over the next week, because you never know. And I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not the type of person who's going to push fear on people, but this whole reading really is about preparing for weathering a storm. So whether that's local and you guys just have a lot of storms, tornadoes, you have weather phenomena, maybe this is talking you live in Florida and you just had to deal with the hurricane, right? Or this is like a grander scale thing where you're weathering the storm of economic problems and global issues, right? This is talking about that stuff and being prepared to handle that stuff when it comes. On the bottom, we have the Ace of Swords, which is about information. It's about being informed. So again, it's like the people who are in the know have an inkling that there's going to be a storm to weather. So whether this is local and it's the weather guys who know and they're telling you, or you watch the weather forecast so you know and your neighbors don't know, and so you're boarding up your windows, or again, if it's a larger scale where you're aware of the economic situation and you've been reading about banks failing and you're like, okay, I got to make sure that my financial situation is okay, stable, and that when I lose, when something happens, I'm going to have a fallback plan where I'm going to be okay and even able to help other people out. Let's pull some oracle cards and find out more information. Tell me more about this reading for the collective. What's going on with weathering the storm? What's going on with this? Okay, preparedness. What else? Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Now I'm getting another stockpiling vibe. So we get the city and the cave with the staff. This is preparation on a grand scale. So I think we are talking about for a lot of people, this is a grand scale thing, or this is something that you're noticing societies are getting prepared to do. You know, communities, 6 and the 2, communities are getting prepared to weather storms. Maybe this is just there is a new focus on preparation because we've had so many natural disasters. Communities are focusing on that, and rather than just be unprepared and saying, you know, just basically screw over the people who get hit by the disaster, there is a sense of focusing on preparation on a community level, so that we can handle whatever comes up. The staff here is actually doing something about the problem, and then the city we're talking about on a grand scale, and then the cave here is prepared for whatever happens, because the cave is like an unknown, right? Whatever's in the cave, whatever comes at us, we can be prepared for it. When it comes for us, the final card being the Door, which is the date, being prepared when the hurricane hits. We're prepared for it on a society level. So I think there's going to be a focus on this, a shift of focus on this, on personal lives, on a global level, is being more prepared to take care of ourselves when shit hits the fan. Let's pull some advice and see what you guys should be doing this on a personal level, while, you know, these changes happen on a society level. Or maybe this will, you know, maybe you're going to be hit by a storm on a personal level, right? We'll get some advice there too. Can I get some advice for the collective? Oh my God, I've never had to come out like that. Oh my God, the Eight of Wands reversed. It came out like a hurricane. Look at this, and it's the same card. I shuffled them, and it's the same card. So the storm is coming. The storm is coming. The advice is be prepared for it. A King of Pentacles is have have an infrastructure set up such that when the storm comes, you're good. Have new windows set up, have a storm door, whatever. Or on a metaphorical level, be prepared. Whatever that means to you. Maybe, to me, this means, stock up on canned goods and dried goods. I think that's never a bad idea. If supply chains are cut off, well, you are okay because you have an extra rice in your pantry, right? So easy to just be on that level of prepared. Let's see what else there is here on top. Let's pull more cards off the top. We've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Hermit reversed, and the King of Wands. Okay, so the Hermit reversed is, again, the Doomsdayer vibes. So this is what you want to shy away from. That's why the Hermit here is reversed. It's a warning. You don't have to go full Doomsdayer. You don't have to get a bomb shelter. You don't have to, devote your entire life to this preparation for the worst case scenario. That is the extreme. Don't do that. You can just have basic levels of preparation where Six of Pentacles, you have extra. Six of Pentacles is having enough that you can give and receive. It's the card for generosity. So if you have extra things in your pantry, you have so much extra in your pantry that you can give to your family if there's a shortage. And it puts you in a leadership position, King of Wands. So you don't want to be the crazy guy. If this was like a card for, if this was, let's say, for instance, the Fool or like Aquarius or something, then I would say be the weirdo. This is not saying be the weirdo. It's saying be the role model. It's saying be practical, be the practical role model where it's like a reasonable amount of preparation where you're ready to help everybody out, but you're not a psycho. You're not off your rocker and people look at you that way. It's due diligence, I would say. Okay, that's pretty easy advice. So let's go ahead and just pull oracle cards and see what comes out for advice there. Any more advice here for the collective? Oh, by the way, if you guys are enjoying my readings, I just launched a Patreon account, so you can find more readings, monthly readings, and love readings, all sorts of stuff there. If you're interested, check it out. It's Lunar Divinations, just like my title, on Patreon. Links should be below and also on my profile. Okay. Wow, community. Talk about community. Number 3 is the number for a community. It's both teamwork and social situations. It's community. And then it's actually small scale community. It's like your team that you work with. Whereas the 6 is more like the community on Facebook. It's like everybody that you know on your contacts list. And then number 3 is the people who you day-to-day work with or you talk to on a more regularly. That's the difference between the 3 and the 6, just to give you guys a little background there. But with Mercury here, that is exchange. It's mercantilism, Mercury mercantilism. So this is talking about local resources too. This is talking about buying local, about maybe establishing local, like finding farmers markets in your town and buying from them. So when the food shortage hits the major retailers and supermarkets, you have like your guy that you go to who's outside that supply chain. So that's what this is talking about, is like buying local, establishing local people that you purchase from, that you work with on like a small scale level. These are the things that can help you prepare for weathering the storm, basically. Let's see what else there is on top. Okay, and now we've got a pretty obvious, we've got the wall with the mask. So the wall is literally a wall. It's the place where you're behind which all your food and you're gonna stockpile your stuff. So the wall just represents the shelter, the place by which you are hoarding the stuff that you're later going to be able to either barter with, or maybe you're not the person who's hoarding. Maybe you're just, like I said, getting to know people who have supplies outside the normal chain, local supplies. But in any case, the wall with the mask is having that stuff at hand. Having, like, the mask is an object. It's like physical. In this deck, that's what it means. So it's like having physical goods and physical resources close at hand, whether that is so close that it's in your pantry, or whether that's close where it's like in town, and it comes from in town originally, right? And that puts you in a much better position. The crown, that puts you above everybody else. Like, it kind of upgrades, it sets you apart from everybody else, but above everybody else too. Like a king, right? Where everybody else has to scramble, you don't. That's what that's saying. And I mean, this harkens me back to my own plan for next year, which is to do flower beds and a vegetable garden. If you have your own vegetables that you can barter with, right, in your own property, behind your fence, behind your wall here, you can barter with that, and it puts you in a better position than everybody else who relied on money in a failing system. that's it, guys. Not to be a doomsdayer, and I hope that's not a downer, but I hope that was like a positive way to look at a potential thing that might happen in the future. Just, I guess, being prepared is always good. So there you go. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to check out Patreon and follow the channel if you haven't done so. Subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.